Okay, Simpsons Hit and Run.
Dude. You know, it's like, you know when you have like your favorite thing and it's just like locked up top?
Yeah.
Like there's nothing that could possibly like dethrone it, you know?
Yeah.
That's Hit and Run for me. Like Breath of the Wild I think is a much better game
Yeah.
and I would play it much more, but Hit and Run is just in this spot where like it's just unbeatable.
Yeah. Isn't that weird? Like we're so biased towards our favorite things, and it could be a number of factors, but you know, it's a good sign when we can acknowledge like when another thing is objectively better, but it's like, no, I like this one more because it's my favorite.
Dude, like I've been playing that game for 19 years and running. It came out, I remember the day it came out in 2003.
It's a lot of years.
You remember the Scholastic magazines you get in school?
Yeah, like the book fair that would come to the library, and
yeah,
you would ask your parents to like give you a little bit of money because you knew the book fair was coming, and you'd get like a big eraser that you wouldn't functionally ever use, but it was like, dude, the feeling that you had when you were walking back to class from the book fair and you just had all your stuff and you just put it on top of your desk and you're like, this is what I got. I remember I had, before I realized it was manga, I got the first chapter, like the first volume of like the Yu-Gi-Oh manga, because I had watched Yu-Gi-Oh on TV, and I guess the, you know, Scholastic was like, oh yeah, kids like Yu-Gi-Oh. So I remember buying that. But like, was that how it was for you with like Hit and Run? Like, did you see it at a book fair, or was it?
It was just on the magazine.
Oh.
And like, I was like, yeah, I watched The Simpsons. So I was like, I circled that. I want this one. And yeah, I got it for the PC.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow ran on my piece of shit E-Machines Windows XP off-brand ass computer that died in 2009. Rest in peace.
Pour one out.
But, dude, yeah. Like, I don't know what it is about it. Like, maybe it was just the timing, but I was hardcore addicted to that game as an 8-year-old.
Yeah, which is, it's easy to find things that are addicting when you're 8, because I mean, we're just so bored.
Because my parents were the kind that would not give me rated M games, which changed for my brother. Because, yeah, here's Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh my
here's
God.
Fallout 4.
Yeah.
But me, I want Gears 2. No. Unacceptable. So, naturally, I never had Grand Theft Auto 3.
Yeah.
So, Hit and Run was my version. And the way that game, GTA 3, changed, like, open world forever.
Yeah.
Hit and Run did that for me.
And I don't know if my mom was the type to buy me rated M games, but I had Grand Theft Auto 3 when I was 8, and I think now she looks back on that and she's like, that was maybe a mistake. Maybe she wished she gotten me Hit and Run, but yeah, dude, I remember coming over and I remember you showing me Hit and Run and showing me all like the hidden vehicles and like the different levels that you can play at. So like 7 levels, right? And like they each take place in a different like map.
There's three
maps.
like hub worlds.
Yeah, and they change, like the time changes and like different parts of the map change depending on like the level you're in.
Yeah, you explore like the level 1 Springfield 3 times.
Yeah, in the first the Lisa one, right? Or is it Marge?
Homer and then Marge and then Homer again.
Okay, yeah, because Bart and Lisa have the same. No,
Bart and Apu are in downtown Springfield, and
Bart
Lisa.
and Apu.
And then the second time he plays Bart are in like the docks area.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought I mean anytime I would come over and you would show that game to me, like I thought it was really cool, and I had only watched The Simpsons on Fox like because it was like a 5 o'clock, like 5:30 show. And I started watching it in like elementary school because I think like my uncle was super into The Simpsons and Family Guy, and so I started watching it with them. But yeah, after you showed me that game, I wanted that game too. So I ended up getting that game. I ended up getting Hit and Run too. But yeah, man, it was a really fun Grand Theft Auto I don't want to even call it a Grand Theft Auto clone because like it feels like its own thing. But
it was just how Road Rage was a direct copy of Crazy Taxi, which
Yeah.
they got sued for.
really,
Yeah. Hit and Run was very much supposed to be like GTA 3,
yeah,
but I like it so much more. So much more.
which is
Mostly because I think GTA 3 aged like milk.
yeah, it aged. It's garbage. It's like even the remaster that came out like within the last year, people don't really like.
Remaster.
Yeah, like it still looks like it just looks like polished, low poly. You know, it's like they didn't build it from the ground up. Is what I'm trying to say. But
Yeah, man. I was so hardcore into Hit and Run that a couple years ago, my whole basement was getting redone, and so it was really noisy. So what I do, I just put on some headphones, and I've always had this dream about getting to 1 million coins. And
like an actual dream.
yeah,
Like
as
you
a
go to
kid, I was
sleep
like,
and-
man, I wonder what it'd be like to have 1 million coins in this game.
Can you get up to that? Will you break the game?
Yeah. And after like 15 years of slowly getting, I made up to like 500,000 after like 10 years.
Yeah.
Because I was like, yeah, if I do like 2,000 a day, I'd get there in like a year or two.
Mm-hmm.
But I stopped for a while. And then when my basement was getting redone, that's when I really ramped it up. I hit 1 million within like a month. Yes, I know. I actually hit 1 million coins in the Xbox version.
Woo!
So no hacks,
No hacks.
just my one-hit car blow-up cheat and driving around the BART level in that square for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah, and I would come over to like come pick you up or like hang out with you, and you would be like, "Oh, hold on, I just gotta," and then you would show me how many coins you had at like any given time. And I thought that was nuts, dude. Like I thought that was nuts of you to do.
And then I pop in the PC version. There's like there's a whole community for this game. I am not the only one. There's like a whole team, donut team, where they make like mods. They made a multiplayer mod. They make their own levels. Like there's like an unofficial like sequel to Hit and Run that they're making.
Oh shoot.
And someone made a mod where it connects all 3 maps into one. Like it's crazy.
Holy
I'm
shit.
not the only one.
I just remember it was a game that I played when I was a kid. I would play games kind of semi-religiously, like, but only like one at a time. And then only if I got really bored, I would go back to an older game, because like a lot of games at that time that I owned were like movie tie-in games. Like I had the Incredibles video game that I played a lot. I had like Tak and the Power of Juju like 2, and I liked that game a lot too. But like, I don't know, man. Hit and Run was one of those that I remember playing for like a long time. Partially because like I had you to kind of compare things with, and that's always the best feeling. And then once we got Xbox Live and Xboxes, Xbones, we would play Gears together, and the multiplayer aspect of games kind of like shifted, and I never really went back to those kind of single player games for a long time. Like I needed to get a PS2 or a PS4 first, because any game that I had on Xbox 360 was like multiplayer. Same thing with Xbox One. Like I didn't have a whole lot of like single player games, but I look back on Hit and Run very fondly, and we actually got to do a cover of one of the songs from Hit and Run. Man, that was like 2 years ago. Something like that. Like neither of us had moved out of our parents' places yet, and I had just gotten like a keyboard and like my home studio a little bit up and running, and and I remember I recorded bass for that for you, and then the keyboard part. And that was really fun. I think that was a cool little tribute to that game.
I wanted to cover that song for so long.
Yeah.
And even back in the day, I had like a whole written guide on a website where I just typed out like a full like walkthrough and everything.
Of the game?
Yeah. I made a video talking about some glitches, which currently has 21,000 views, which is pretty cool.
Wow.
I finally did a review of the game. We did the cover.
Yeah.
Yo, that game is my life.
Yeah, and then no other Simpsons game or thing that has come out since then has been as impactful. Because the Simpsons game came out, like the original game, and that was really fun.
Yeah.
I remember that was kind of they did something to this day, like an unprecedented marketing campaign with that, where each version of the game had a different pre-order bonus. And it was if you pre-ordered the PS2 version, you got there's a Homer power-up where he turned into a big fat ball and he rolled around, and I had that foam Homer each version had a different case, artwork for the case, and they all had different posters on the inside. So I had the Bartman poster, but they also had the Chocolate Land, the Willy Wonka Land
Medal of Homer
poster, Medal of Homer, yeah. So that was a fun thing, and I think that was another Simpsons thing that we were able to kind of bond over too. But yeah, Hit and Run is kind of where it's all started.
Yeah,
because we were 7-8 when that game came out, and we played it.
Next year is gonna be its 20th anniversary, and man, I gotta do something for that.
Yeah, hey man, start a Twitch channel and just stream you playing that game.
Yeah, I need to learn how to speedrun it.
Yeah, honestly, that would be a really fun speedrun. Just be hey, Hit and Run turns 20 years old. I started this Twitch channel and I'm gonna speedrun Hit and Run. So fuck it, watch me do it. But that's for next year, and I feel like we wrapped this kind of episode up really quickly. Partially because we're filming during the day, which we never do. We always film in the evening, so I think that's probably part of it. Is I feel more awake, or maybe I feel more sleepy and I want to just get through it. But no, I mean it was a fun time. I liked getting to talk about childhood things and things that we've already experienced. But starting next week, I don't know, man. I don't know if there's anything music or movie wise or video game wise that I'm kind of in the middle of. So this might be the trend for a little bit until we go see a new movie. But yeah, so it'll be a good time. Check out our YouTube channels. On YouTube, there will be a link in the description to both of those. Check me out on Twitch. I got music too. I got David playing drums for me on my EP, Golden Part 1, so check that out. And check out our socials, because we got to plug those. But aside from that, have a good rest of your day. Enjoy the middle of May, which is cooled down significantly, so I get to wear long sleeves and actual pants.
Temperature cut in half since last week.
Yeah, which is a little nuts. I welcome it, but I'm sure David's kind of in a different boat.
It was 90 all last week, and I didn't have any shorts. Now I have shorts. Back to 50.
Yeah, this week has not been your best friend. I have.